this morning, on Wednesday morning, I was up normal time, 5 o'clock. I got to the desk. The first thing that I liked was GBP CHF. On my watch list on this day, I only had 3 pairs. It was GBP CHF, Euro GBP, and USD CHF. They were the only 3 that I was looking at. Do you know the correlation between these 3? Like how they all work together?
Tell me.
So GBP CHF, as you can see, like I came in and I was long biased. TDIs in the buy zone, EMAs are in an uptrend. And if you zoom out to yesterday, we had a really strong move off the 200 EMA. And even if I go to the higher time frames, just to show you, look at the EMAs here, look at the TDI in the buy zone, uptrend, 4 hour, 8 is above the 21, TDI well in the buy zone, right? So clearly, even on the daily, the 800 was on top, but that doesn't concern me. Look at it holding the 8, look at the, clearly it's long biased, right?
Yeah.
So I come to the desk and I'm like, okay, this is something that I like. Now,
It's interesting, though, how you like this one off the bat, because just looking at the 15-minute, I don't really like it.
well, that's because you're used to seeing A1 entries and you haven't really gone into the divergence course enough.
But even because it's oversold and the liquid...
Overbought.
That's what I meant. Overbought and the liquid 50 is dropping.
Yeah. Here, let me turn this on so you guys can follow my cursor easier. She's saying overbought right here and the liquid 50 here. You said it's dropping?
Well, even before that. Like
right
it's,
in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's sliding there, but this is important. So that's a good thing you bring up. Where is it, though? It is falling, but where is it? Here's that 50 value. Oh, they can't see it because our faces are covering it. Here's that 50 value, right?
Yeah.
Where is it? It is in the buy zone.
Right.
It doesn't go into the sell zone. It doesn't drop under a 50.
Right.
So it's technically telling me to be long biased. You follow that?
Yeah.
And I know that the 50 EMA can be a really strong level for us to find trades from. So that's why at this point in the morning, TDI in the buy zone, EMAs in an uptrend, previous day's move at that blue 50 EMA, you just saw the higher time frame. So everything fed the long bias.
Yeah.
Back to the original question about Euro GBP and USD CHF. So this is GCHF. If we look at UCHF really quickly and we go back to Wednesday here, the 17th, you can see this was very much long biased as well. Look at the TDI, well in the buy zone, right above the 50. Look at the EMAs. You see price holding the 21 all morning. So GCHF, GBP CHF, and USD CHF both have that CHF on the back end.
Yeah.
So you can expect them to sometimes move together. It's never always, but sometimes. So there, if I'm looking at both of those, you know, I'm not a big USD CHF fan just because it doesn't move a lot and I don't trade it very often, but I do trade GBP pairs a lot. So instantly off these two, you know I'm going to lean towards GBP CHF. The other thing with the correlation here is Euro GBP. So knowing what I just told you about the CHF on the back end, you see how this has GBP on the back on Euro GBP, but GBP CHF has GBP on the front. If GBP CHF is long biased, Euro GBP is going to be short biased right here off the 50 on the same day. Make sense?
Yeah, but why?
Because GBP being on the back end, on the quote end of this pair.
Yeah, but the Euro and the CHF are two totally different pairs.
It just goes to show which pairs are being traded the most, which are Euro, GBP, and USD. They control the market. So when you compare a GBP to a CHF, GBP is going to control that pair more than the CHF, in my opinion, just because there's more traders involved in GBP pairs in general. Does that make sense? Kind of?
Kind of.
So when you have Euro GBP and GBP CHF, they're going to move opposite most of the time, right? When I came to the desk, a lot of people were looking at Euro GBP to see it come off the 50 and come lower, but a lot of people also had divergence drawn. If you do look at this RSI from the previous day, you can see that that is rising and this is falling. Now that's a stretch because you're drawing it pretty far back, but look at how it does come from the 50 to that divergence line. It respects it really well. So with this divergence there, I know my risk reward is capped to that divergence line. It could fall through, which it does the next day, but I know it could also bounce there on this day, and that's the day I was trading, so that's the most important one. So right there, I just explained, if you followed me, and tell me if I went too fast, but I explained how I went from GCHF over UCHF, and now, because of this divergence, I would go GCHF over Euro GBP. Does that make sense?
Yeah.